Now we will understand about the third part of the ear, which is the innermost portion, that is internal ear. This figure depicts the structure of internal ear. Now internal ear basically consists of two portions, membranous labyrinth and the second portion, bony labyrinth. These two portions constitute the internal ear. Now there is a fluid which is present between the two labyrinths, which is known as perilymph. Thus perilymph is the fluid which is present between the two labyrinths. There is another fluid which is present within the layers of membranous labyrinth, which is known as endolymph. Therefore, endolymph is a fluid which is present between the layers of membranous labyrinth. Now, as it can be seen from the figure, the internal ear basically consists of three parts. The upper portion, that is vestibule, second semicircular duct or semicircular canal, and the third cochlea. So let us begin with the first structure of membranous labyrinth, that is vestibule. As it can be seen from the figure, a vestibule is a sac-like structure which consists of two parts, that is utricle and saccule. Thus, it is a sac-like structure that consists of utricule, which is the larger portion of the vestibule, that is large in structure, and second saccula, which is comparatively smaller. Now this part of vestibule basically consists of macula. Macula is a structure that comprises of hair cells and supporting cells. As said earlier, hair cells are the structure or the cell that prevents the entry of dust particles. There are also supporting cells, which is made up of calcium carbonate and other proteins, which helps hair cells to prevent the entry. Now these macula are located in the wall of these two parts, that is utricle and saccula. This macula occurs as sensory point. Thus, sensory points or stops occurs 2 in number present at each structure. Now, the second structure of membranous labyrinth is semilunar duct or semicircular duct, which can be also called as semilunar duct. Now, as it can be seen from the figure, this semilunar or semicircular duct is located at three portions: the outer, that is superior portion, the lateral, that is side portion, and posterior or the inner portion. Thus, they are of three types: superior or anterior semicircular canal, second is lateral semicircular canal, and third is the posterior semicircular canal. Now, as it can be seen from the figure, these all three semicircular canals opens into this utricle, that is the portion of vestibule. Therefore, these semicircular canals opens at the end into utricle portion. Now, as it can be seen from the figure, these all three semicircular canals opens at the anterior and posterior end into ampulla. Thus, both of their ends of canals opens into ampulla. One more sensory spot occurs at this portion, that is occurs at each ampulla. Which is known as crista, whose function is to maintain the equilibrium of sound. That is equilibrium of the sound waves that is carried from the external to middle and further to inner ear. Thus, equilibrium or maintenance of sound is made in a proper manner. Now, third and the innermost portion of inner ear is called cochlea. As it can be seen from the figure, cochlea is a spiral-shaped structure or we can say that it looks like a shell. Unlike the before two, that is vestibule and semilunar canal, this cochlea is a part of bony labyrinth. That is, the previous two were a part of membranous labyrinth and this was a part of bony labyrinth. Now, as it can be seen from the figure, the structure of cochlea basically consists of three longitudinal layers, out of which these three layers are separated by a thin transparent membrane and they are commonly known as scala. Thus, cochlea consists of three longitudinal layers which is together termed as scala. The middle portion is known as scala media. This portion consists of organ of Corti. This organ of Corti is considered as an organ of hearing that possess both hair cells and supporting cells. Now, as it can be seen from the figure, this organ of Corti containing scala media possess the topmost portion or the roof is known as Reissner membrane and the bottom portion is known as basilar membrane. Thus, the roof of scala media is called Reissner's membrane and the bottom portion is known as basilar membrane. Now these hair cells which are present in the organ of Corti possess free hairs at its outer surface and the inner portion or the inner surface is bound to the dendrites of the nerve cell. So that easy transmission of sound and thereby resulting nerve impulse takes place. Now, as it can be seen from the figure, the tips of these hairs are located in the tectoral membrane. Thus, tips of hair are located in the tectorial membrane. Now the next type of cell, that is supporting cells present in the organ of Corti, are of two types. First one is longer pillar cells, and the second is shorter pharyngeal cells. This figure depicts the structure of pharyngeal cells, both outer and inner portion, and the pillar cells, which are comparatively long. Thus, this was all about the structure of inner ear.